Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Quick and Easy Cooking out here in the Far East Rain Springs, and we're doing outside cooking but with alternative energy. Today we're showing you gas. As we said, we have a problem with Eskom because there is always load shedding, there's always some or the other problem. Recently substations have been blowing up, etc. So food has to be eaten, food has to be cooked. There's alternative ways of doing it. We showed you how to do it in an open fire. It's a much faster way of cooking than any other source of energy. Trust me, you've seen it. We cooked a pot of chicken curry in no time. Today we have gas. It's not as fast as an open fire, but it's good. So alhamdulillah, and that we cooked on a tripod in a cast iron pot. Today we're showing you the Middle Eastern kebab. We showed you how we put into a pan, we wedged it. And while we were on the break, we quickly, it got done so quickly so that I had to quickly turn it. I'm just going to show you how we do the turning of it very quickly with a spatula. There's a last one to turn here. So I'm going to show you how we do it. Can you Parvez see it? I have to do it from this side, right to left. And then toss it, let it steam a bit. And when it's done, we're going to fry it again, right? Now, some people would say we would like it like that, and that's a meal on its own. Just place it onto a piece of roti and that's a meal of its own. Fine. But the way to have it is then to refry it in pure olive oil and serve it with garnishing and chips or fried brinjal. I know the Middle East, fried brinjals are a huge favorite. So what you do with the brinjals, cut it in half, toss it in olive oil with some cumin seeds, and if you want, you can add some tomatoes. If not, just keep tossing it until the brinjals are fried and serve it with this Middle Eastern kebab. So let's go to it now. Let me get my pan ready for the frying. I've got some oil in here. I'm going to use what's up here, what's left in here. Can you get the aroma, Parvez? It's a different aroma, isn't it? And we'll serve it with a bit of halloumi, which I saved. In the previous program also, we showed you how to make halloumi. So let's hope that you remember. This is pure olive oil, and I'm not telling you which make, but yes, it's pure olive oil. So I'm going to now move this. I'm using one plate, not 10 plates, one plate to get the cooking done. So this one side. This has steamed, and whatever hasn't been fully cooked, it will be cooked when we do fry it again. Now the other alternative is you can use a flatter pan, a broader pot. It depends on you, but I try to use something. They say always use a pot. If you're using a stove, a gas stove or electric stove, let the size of the plate and the size of the pot be the same. So this is what we've done here. So if you want to do it in open fire, like we have a tripod, you can use a much bigger pan that they do if you see in Turkish cooking as well as in the Middle Eastern cooking, there are these huge pans. One day we'll try and get the real Middle Eastern pan and show you exactly how this is done on their pans, right? But this is a very quick and easy way. You can make it smaller wedges as well, or you can make it into squares, cut it into squares before that, but you've got to move fast with it. That's the main thing. So let's get this ready. Are we ready, Parvez? Right, there we go. I'm going to move this down there. Move the oil, and just because it's frying, let's get the first one in. Let the oil get a bit more hot. In the meanwhile, I'll try and separate these. This is what it looks like. You can see here. Trying to get it out. Just get the pan here to show you what it looks like. Let's move this lid away. If you topple it over, you can see it's done. This is fit to serve a king, actually. If I topple it over, you can see. Can you see it's roasted already, Parvez? You see why I use 2 eggs? Because it needs to bind even more. I can hear the oil sizzling, so I need to move very fast. So let's just take this and put it in there. For whatever we have already here. This actually needs to steam much more, the small one. And it's all in olive oil, so guilty-less. And the leftovers that you can just roll it into a roti and have it separately if you don't want it fried. Just get the others out so long. You see, the gas is not fire is also not centralized like an open fire. This is the middle part here which we are going to use, and this is the side. Can you see it frying, Parvez? So when it fries, you can get it to mold even more. I wouldn't put another egg because then you'll have a lot of froth into your frying. The neighbors must be thinking we're having a feast tonight. The other way that I tried, and I really liked that one, was just, and I didn't bring my oven out, was to actually just put it into a pan, cut into squares, and it really is very tasty. Put into squares, bake it into an, instead of cooking it on the stove, bake it in an oven. I did tell my husband to leave my coal stove oven here to show you, make a fire and there's an oven in there. You put it into the oven, and then when it's done, you cut into squares and dip into egg if you want, or just fry it the way we are doing. So in a moment this will be done. So it's any shape. You can even cut it smaller than this, but I'm going to leave it whole because it's one piece suffices for a person. And if you want to be even more fancy, you can dip it in egg and fry it. But you already have egg inside, so you don't want to have too much of egg. You want to keep it as a kebab. It's a nice savory dish also for Ramadan. Okay, so let me take this out and put the next lot in. There we go. Remove the side parts and then put the next lot in. As I said, you've got to work fast. You can put in more flour if you want it to be molded more, but it's okay. This is chicken mince. So while that is getting fried, let me sort this main dish out. So I wonder if you're watching this here. I'm just going to drop some more lemon on from the top. Some garnishing. This is my favorite. Split the green chili on it. Some garam masala and some lemon pepper. And that's what your final dish looks like while I'm still busy frying the others. You can have a look at it. Sorry we messed the table, but it's outdoor cooking and it's fun. Really enjoying it. So I'll get the second lot done while the first one is ready for serving. I'll show you in a moment, Parvez, how it's cooked inside. Because you left it to steam. You see that cooking, that steaming part is important. That steaming is very important. You can cook half a kilo at a time. You don't have to cook the whole kilo. You can cook half a kilo at a time, make it flatter if you want. This has been quite thick, so if you want, you can make it even flatter. So I'm just going to show you with a knife. or you don't even have to cut it. Can you see it's cooked inside? Right, so that's the finished product. Add some more. I'm using that. So that's the quick and easy Middle Eastern kebab, a very quick and easy dish that can be done on the gas stove. You can make it in an open fire, but if you're doing an open fire, I suggest you use a bigger pan. Flatten it even more if you want. And you can use parsley, that is what the recipe requires, but I've used coriander because I like the taste of coriander more than I do parsley. But if you want to give it a real Middle Eastern dish, then you make it into a parsley, bring the parsley in as a green, and garnish it with whatever you want. You can serve this with, as I said, fried brinjal. We've shown you how to make brinjal in a previous program, but this is the Middle Eastern kebab. We hope that you enjoy it. And if there are any queries and questions, you can follow us on social media, both ITV and Say Global Productions. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, Facebook. Do send your comments, criticism, etc. We hope that you will take seriously the alternative sources of cooking, alternative uses of energy for cooking, like gas, like open fires if you have logs around. And yes, with all the energy problems we've been having, electricity problems rather, we need to be creative in our ways of serving our families, cooking for our families, or cooking for ourselves for that matter. There's always a means to get to feeding your communities, your families, etc., using alternative sources of energy. We hope that you will learn from this, and we hope that you will try these recipes and tell us how it came out for you. This one's almost ready, so let me take that out. Till we meet again then, Sister Shamshad says, bidding you a very warm Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.